How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Known. Camera adjusting. How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Known here, and welcome back to another episode of Gaming with Wayne. Where basically you'll listen or watch me play games from many genres of gaming. Anyway, today, tonight, tomorrow, whenever you're watching this, I am going to be doing a review guide for Frame Break's planetary exploration farming game, Lightyear Frontier, which just recently came out last month for Steam, Xbox, and Xbox Gamepass, which right now I want to say runs for, I think, somewhere between $30 to $20, which is not really bad price. So yeah, game is really fun from what I've played so far. I'm looking forward to their next updates coming out, which I'm hoping is sometime this year, because I'm really looking forward to exploring more of the frontier. But with that being said, I'm gonna give you guys basically a little walkthrough guide on how to get started and what to expect in this game. With that being said, let us begin. Just get in our mech here. So when you first start out in the game, you're gonna have to basically go to find your mech, which, you know, this thing right here. Once you get to your mech, you're going to have to put it together, and then once you put it together, you're going to be introduced to Piper, which is basically going to be your AI friend throughout the entire game, who will tell you, good job, or don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that, in a nice southern accent, which I know my southern accent is not the greatest. But, when you get all that done, you are going to be given an objective to find all of the all your upgrade attachments that you'll need for your mech to basically, you know, collect resources, mine rocks, cut trees, and other things that will help you progress further in this game. The attachments you can get, see if I can remember what button. Nope, not that one. So yeah, we have the spike saw, which is basically like a pickaxe and a saw together. What you can do with this is, oh wait, yeah, I forgot. So yeah, you got the spike saw, which helps you collect rocks, trees, and stuff like flowers and everything throughout the world. You have the vacuum harvester, which helps you suck up plants and suck up water, whether the plants are out and about or in your garden, and water for your water gun. And irrigation hose, vacuum harvester, spike saw, and irrigation hose, which helps you water plants, the garden that you have in your place. You also have a fertilizer, which I assume, I could be wrong. Someone in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong. Helps your plants grow a little bit quicker, which, in my opinion, comes in real handy. Yeah. Next we have the seed shooter, which basically, oh, didn't turn the light on. Which basically is, you know, you shoot seeds into your crop plots or your tilled garden, which, you know, I think comes in real handy. As you can see, I have quite a bit of seeds already that I've bought from Lola over there, and also that I got while out exploring. And last but not least is your sprout cannon, which you can use to plant trees, flowers, and other assortment of things that you can use to harvest and, you know, use to create stuff. So I guess we will start off with harvesting. So one of the things I like about the spike saw, that you can harvest stuff like rocks and other gems throughout the game. And, you know, a good example of what you can harvest, or here's a good example of what you can harvest. So, for example, in the meadows, you can get aluminum rods, coal, and blue color flowers, which you can also use the saw part of your spike saw. In the Pine Heights, you can get aluminum rods, coal, and red crystal, which, again, all this stuff does come in handy for when it comes to sorry about that, comes to making stuff and harvesting and all that fun stuff. And then, you know, basically each area will have its own unique mineral along with minerals you can find elsewhere, which again I think is probably the best thing ever. And then, you know, you can find again a bunch of stuff which in my opinion comes in real handy. Oh, it's copper ore. Oh, so you can also find copper ore here too. But yeah, no, yeah, you can, you know, use your saw pick, or if you have, or you know, even on your bush, because it will like, yeah, you can use both, basically almost all these on anything. But when it comes to minerals, I highly recommend you use, you know, this is the only thing you can use is the pick part. And then when it comes to trees, you can do one of two things. If you want to knock down one single tree, you can use the pick part. But if you want to cut down multiple trees, do you find a good example? Oh, here. You can use the saw part if you want to cut down multiple trees, which gives you, you know, wood, your basic wood and your plant fiber. Let's see. I think now with that basically is it when it comes to harvesting rocks, minerals. Another thing I should say is that certain minerals you will need to upgrade. You will need to upgrade, you know, your saw spike, because some are a lot harder and will be covered. So like, you know, for example, like how it'll have the little health bar thing. If you're not able to mine it or cut it, it will be covered in gray saying you need the saw spike upgrade. Nor the Hydro Splash 2 upgrade, which is again an upgrade you will want if you want to have more coverage for your water, for your irrigation hose, which we'll need. So next is gardening. And you can see I have a little garden over here, which you can plant a wide variety of stuff. Right now I have the, well, I can't, but like, there we go. So on rainy days, as you can see right now, you will not need to water your garden. But if you see like weeds, is basically weeds, or if you don't have anything there, or the crop plot is dry, you can easily just, you know, use your, you know, your vacuum hose, which also helps you pick up the other plants as well. Yeah. Oh, I missed a. But yeah, the vacuum hose comes in handy when it's time, when your plants are fully grown. Hi, Swift. Hello, Swift Boom. We'll be getting to you later. But yeah. So, vacuum hose is great for, you know, sucking up the plants when they are fully grown, which usually takes about a couple days, pending. But when it comes to, like, you know, when it comes to planting, as you can see, I have the seed shooter upgrade, which basically you can shoot multiple seeds in a plot or on the ground. But yeah, since it's raining, I will not need to water the plants, but days that it's not raining, I recommend watering your plants before you want to go out and explore more, just so when the next day is, your plants won't be dead or turn into weeds. Which, again, the weeds, all they are is, like, you know, you suck them up and you get plant fiber, which comes in real handy, if I'm going to be honest. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. And also, like I said, since, you know, it's not raining, since it's raining, I don't need to water the plants, but if it was not raining, you would need to water the plants, and you can tell what needs to be watered because it will be highlighted by a blue square. And also, you know, same with the fertilizer, it'll be highlighted green, which will let you know, hey, this needs to be, you know, fertilized, and you can tell when a plot is fertilized because it will be basically it'll be sparkling, you know, like Edward from Twilight. Yeah, my jokes are bad. But yeah, that is it on the gardening. Same goes with planting the trees. You know, take a sprout cannon, shoot it in a random spot, like, you know, I just have pine sprout. You know, find an area, shoot it there, and then you will need, you know, water. Oh, since it's raining, you won't need it. But yeah, days it's raining, you will not need to water your plants. Days it's not raining, I would recommend. And the best thing about trees, you only need to water once. And some of these can take a little bit longer. As you can see, I have a bunch of trees. Yeah. And then I have, oh yeah, these two. So gravel gourds. You can get these, acquire these. I want to say somewhere between the yellow, somewhere between the yellow forest and I want to say mountainside coast, or Stepstone Peak. I can't remember. Somewhere around this area. When you see these things right here, the best. So these things. Sorry if I'm getting a little ahead of myself. These things you can use to harvest stone. So for example, you know, can't. Oh, I guess. Oh, you can use it. All right. So I guess you can technically use both. I forgot that. But yeah, basically gravel gourds get you stone. And the best thing about when you cut down the trees when they're fully grown, or these, or even like, you know, the flowers over here, you do get things back. So like for example, I'll like, you know, hit this and I will get a black color flower, plant fiber, and a black color flower sprout. So you also get plant fibers from the flowers too, which again I think is a really good decision that the developers made in this game. So the next thing I want to talk about is the wildlife around the game. So while you're out exploring, you'll notice that this game has wildlife. There are many different types of wildlife, I think. Let's see here. So each area will have different types of wildlife and that you can feed, and there's also nests too. So, for example, I will show you what it's like feeding a swift plume. I recommend jumping out of your mech just because there's the chance that they will run away if they see you in your mech. But if you go up to a swift plume, you can give it basically basic fodder. So, you know, and what they'll occasionally do, they will end up giving you stuff, which, in my opinion, comes in real handy. But mind you, different areas will have different animals, and usually those different animals will require different fodder. And there's also nests too that you can go to. And what the nests do will basically, all the animals will be fed, and it will restore a bunch of things in the area. So for example, here is a swift plume nest that you can give basic fodder to. So, you know, swift plume nest full, 1 of 3 nests fed. So there's a total of 3 nests in each area. So that will make it easier. And from what I've seen, the developers plan on adding more wildlife, and also you can have wildlife on your farm. On occasion, you will see a swift plume, depending on where you are. You'll see some random wildlife roam around your farm, just roaming around, sleeping, eating the grass, whatever. Now, let's get this out of the way. Yeah, as you can see, I didn't put any plants there. So, if you don't want weeds, I recommend putting a bunch of seeds around. Again, they mainly help with, yeah. Oh, something I forgot to mention as well. The pond pitcher. So the best thing about pond pitchers is that you can find these, you know, in areas such as the lowland plains, and I don't think you can find them anywhere else. Yeah, no, you can only find them in, as far as I know, in the lowland plains. So the best thing about pond pitchers, because I forgot to mention that when it comes to gardening, that these are a great source of water. So if you don't want to build your farm near water resources, which I recommend you do, but if you're tired of having to run all the way back to fill up your water gun, pond pitchers are the best. So yeah, basically you know, fill up all that water, and they will close like a clam. But the best thing is, the next day they will be filled with water. And when it comes to a pond pitcher, you can take their sprouts, and I recommend putting it near your garden. I mean, you can put it wherever you want, but I recommend your garden, especially when it comes to days when your garden is going to be attacked by the noxious bubbles or the noxious weeds. I recommend at least upgrading your water gun capacity for more water, because if you do not, the bubbles will explode and it will cause noxious puddles on the ground, and it will cover your plants, and all that hard work you just did to, you know, put some plants down will be gone. Same with noxious weeds. If well, it's a noxious sprout, but it will fly and fall down on your crop plots, and your plants will be ruined, and I don't think you want that. But the best thing about this, so, you know, I'm just going to destroy the one I have, but I have a pond pitcher sprout, so I can go here, and then, you know, now I gotta wait. Now I just gotta wait a couple days before this grows into this one over here. And you can tell when they're fully grown because they will be open. And that's the same with any plants, trees. You can tell it's fully grown by, you know, for example, like this. And then, as you can see, my little... And right now, these don't really do anything. All you'll get back is the sprouts. But when they're fully grown... Yeah, spike cell required. Yeah, I know. But when they're fully grown, you can get the wood. And with the bigger trees, you get hardwood. With the smaller trees, you'll get pine trees, you get softwood. Big trees like this, you just get regular. You can just get regular wood, softwood, and then hardwood from the big trees, which you will need to upgrade. But back to when it comes to feeding the wildlife, what you will need is a oven, and I will show you the different types of fodder you can make. So, you know, go to your fodder oven, and these are all the types of fodders so far. I imagine when they have more animals, there will be more. But the best thing about this right now, I don't have any of these items in my inventory. They're all in the chest next to me, which I guess we can also get into storage here shortly too. So yeah, you got basic fodder, nice fodder, sweet fodder, sour fodder, salty fodder, and fancy fodder. And all you will really much need are the seeds and the oils. And you can easily get seeds by sucking up the vegetables around the area or buying them from Lola, which we'll also get into later as well. But yeah, that is it when it comes to feeding the wildlife. Again, there's many different wildlife. You can find them out and about. You can find them in caves, depending on the size of the animal too. But I will say I do like the shapes of the fodder. I definitely would like to have one of these myself as a nice little sweet treat. But yes, all you just need is a fodder oven, and you can have a bunch of these. And these really, for example, like let's make some nice fodder. So, you know, like 11, and then they just pop out instantly. They're a quick and easy thing. They do not take time. You can easily get them, and you can just walk up to them like in Minecraft, or you know, use your vacuum to, you know, get them up. Let's see now. I guess next, while we're here, we can talk about the storage spaces. So, when it comes to storage, there are many different types of storage that we have. Yeah, there we go. So, we'll go over to storage. So, we got the storage boxes, wood crates, barrels, and burlap sacks, which the capacity is 60, or no, is it 120? Let's see. So capacity is 120. So I recommend, if you want to, you can build you can build small storages if you only have the basic ones, which when it comes to building, it's, you know, for example, you need tin wood to make a storage box, softwood for a wooden crate, hardwood for a barrel. Plant fiber is like the number one thing that's easy to get in this game, and unlimited resources for that. Then you got your silo. You can store a lot of one resource. I have one right now that's full of plant fiber, because plant fiber is, again, the easiest thing to get, and these are what require for it. Blue crystal dust, which you need blue crystal, which you need to put in the grinder, which, you know, yeah, and then copper wire. Honestly, not a whole lot, you know. Yeah, as you can see, I can make like a burlap sack if I wanted to, but I don't have any hardwood right now. And then you got small shed, which is a capacity, I want to say, actually, I got small sheds right over here. And we'll show you all. So yeah. Oh yeah. And this is a silo. And the best thing about this silo, you don't necessarily have to look in to see how much you have. Like, yeah, you can see 210 pounds, and I have like over 2,000 plant fibers. But the best thing is that when you put plant fibers in, I'll actually do that right now. We'll just put all of them. The light slightly goes up, so the more you put in, the higher it gets. So if you want to build another silo to put one thing in, highly recommended. And then we got the little, we got small sheds, which is a capacity of 240. And if I'm not mistaken, the big shed, which I have on the outside of my, yep, is 750. And the best thing about storage spaces, if you have it in places like in here, or, you know, over there, you don't have to. So like here, I'll go into my oil press. I can use my plant fiber to create this, and I don't have, mind you, this is not in my storage. This is all in my silo outside. So as long as you have a storage space outside near like your barn or your little hut shed things, you will not need to go and grab the item from the shed. You can just instantly, which I think the developers made the right choice of doing. Like, best thing ever. Don't have to grab all the items. Now, if you don't have the item, you can easily go and grab the item, put them in your storage, and then honestly automatically build. So like, you know, for example, I can make polyberry oil, so, and I have that in my thing, so, you know, make 5 polyberry oil, and that will take some time. As you can see, the little thing right there, and then, you know, same with, you know, like, same with a composter, which you get to make fertilizer. So I have these, you know, right now. I have these in my inventory right now, but, you know, just, you know, simple. And then by the next day, I will have fertilizer. And then, you know, for example, the assembler, you know, I can make clay because I have clay in my storage. So, you know, make some clay, and then, you know, clay's in my inventory right now. And if I wanted to make, you know, something with the furnace, like red glass, I can just, you know, I only had a little bit of dried glow fruit, which you will need to make colored glass. And you can get dried glow fruit from glow fruit trees, but then you will need, you know, if I have the, if I had any in my storage space, I can use it on my solar dehydrator if I wanted to. Let's see. I guess the next thing is, now that we've kind of mentioned it, is making things. For example, when it comes to making stuff like the oil presser, the assembler, the oven, not you, the composter. Oh yeah, you can kind of see. Whoa. Let's go into the next stage so you guys have more light to see. Oh yeah, and here's what happens when you give them food. Resource boost. Extra resources restored in this region. So like trees, minerals, rocks, you know, all that fun stuff.
Hey, hope you're well.
And yes, this is Piper, PIP3R, your little companion
Keep up the good work.
Just annoy the crap out of you half the time. I think you can turn her off, I'm not sure. But yes, let's get to building things that will help you make other things. So for example, let's see here. Let's go, I think it's, yeah. So, so going down the list, oil presser, press plants to create oils, which come in real handy when it comes to making new things and upgrading your mech. You got the fodder oven, which, you know, basically helps you make fodder, like food for, you know, all of the wildlife. You got workshop shed, which proves the efficiency of crafting construction builds built in the, you know, inside the shed. So basically, you build this, it improves the efficiency, you know, quicker times of things instead of just placing it randomly where it'll take longer. And also, great when you have storage space, so you can like go to it and you don't have to go to your storage. Next, we got the assembler, which assembles materials into complex... The assembler, which, you know, materials into complex components. So, like, you know, for example, I will show you what this assembler can do. So, it can make stuff like clay, aluminum frame, red lens, and I have this stuff in my storage spaces, right next to here. So, you know... And these are all the stuff you can make. As of right now, I imagine when they come out with more stuff, they will most likely see. And as you can see, storage and range, 39. So I got 39, I'm not sure 39 what, I don't want to say items. I could be wrong, but yeah, storage and range, that's all the storage I have, so I can easily make these in the general vicinity. So, you know, like aluminum frames I can make, again, as we talked about storage, and voila. But yeah, and then you got, oh, wrong, yeah. So then you got this, then you got the flower press, which helps creates paint from color flowers, which is kind of more of like a minor thing, unless, you know, you want to make paint to paint your, you know, your workshops, your barns, your houses, stuff like that, or your mech. We got the grinder, which crushes materials into new resources such as crushed blue dust, regular dust, which, you know, you can use to make windows and other things. You got the furnace, which basically smelts stuff into new resources like metal bars, steel bars, glass, and all that stuff. And then you got color mixer, which basically mixes regular paints into different colors. So you got your basic flowers, like the reds, blues, yellows, whites. Once you make those, you can put them into the mixer and they will make different colors of paint, which, like purple, rose red, you know, this color blue, green, orange. Then you got the compost box, which basically turns biomatter like the plants into fertilizer, which helps with your gardening. And then last but not least, you got the barn, which, in my opinion, improves construction a lot better in a sense. It's like the workshops, but it's much bigger, and you can put more stuff in there, more storage, more things. And of course, and then there is new things you can get, but this is way later. You got the solar dehydrator, which, fractalite bar, iron frame, and chromazone and chromase oil. But the thing is, you will need to go out there, discover new resources, use those resources and these other things, and then you can make this, because it'll say, this item can make this, but you need to turn that item you made to actually make it into the thing. And then you got the advanced furnace, smelts things, but you will need dried glow fruit when it comes to this one, because this is a lot more different than your regular furnace, and you'll need power cores. Now, power cores you can use in the grinder. For example, noxious spores. Use your noxious spores, for in the grinder, and when they're done, you can take them to the assembler, and that's how you make power cores. And you can get noxious spores from God, what was it? Where you can get them from? Oh yeah, you can get the noxious spores from when you were when you pop the bubbles, the noxious bubbles that will come on your land. If you pop those right away, you need to get the noxious spores, and then you turn them into that thing, and then you turn them into that thing in there, which power cores again help with upgrades, help with building new things. There's a lot of building in this game, but I will say the building stuff is worth it. And yes, on occasion, depending on where you build, you will sometimes get random things like that in there. Yes. So next is building homes. So there's a nice little thing about building homes in this game that instead, except for helping you sleep, give you nice little perks. So for example, when you enter your house, you got a coziness level. So right now, the coziness level goes up to 4. So coziness level 1 is keen eye, which, is for like when you build a tent. That's, you have a chance to find additional resources in the wild. When you build a small house, you get level 2, animal friend. Animals have a chance to dig up additional resources when fed, so basically once you feed them, there's a chance you'll get more than just one. And then when you build the bigger house, you get coziness level 3, critical strike. Spike saw strikes and swings have a chance to deal additional damage. So basically more damage, chance of getting more things, which I think comes in handy. And then the last house you can build is the mansion. And in order to raise it up to level 4, you need to put more decorations around the area. So the more decorations you have, the higher the level goes. So right now, I am almost at a coziness of level... Oh, what am I at for this one? I am... oh yeah. Careful when sprinting if you have it set to sprint. So like, for example... coziness level 4, bountiful yield. Harvested crops have a chance to yield additional resources. So basically, when you harvest crops from your garden, you'll get more resources, which I think comes in handy. But as you can see, I'm at coziness level 2 because I still have a lot to build here. So like, if I want to place like, for example, a grill, it'll be an arrow will be pointing next to like your place, and you can see the outer line. The same thing is when you place when you're placing your machines to make stuff inside your workshops or your barns. It makes it improves things basically. So if I want to place this here, I can do that. Another thing is when it comes to might as well, since we're in the middle of talking about making things. So when it comes to building things, because I forgot to talk about that again as well. I should have wrote a script for this. So when it comes to certain things, you can take them apart. So for example, if I want to take like this bench apart, I can go to recycling mode and I could recycle it. The best thing is I get all that wood back from recycling that. So if I wanted to, you know, put this back, you know, 6 wood, and you can also rotate it in different ways. As of right now, you can only recycle things to get all the things back. Oh, yeah. So yeah, once you have it, once you decide where you want to put it, you hit build, and you can just, you know, randomly just add all that. Or if you don't want to go through all that and you have all the materials you need, then you press that. So voila. As mentioned, as I said, you can't, like, once they're placed, you can't move them, but I'm hoping in an update you can eventually move them, which I think is pretty cool. Piper, I know. So another thing I want to talk about are caves. Caves are a thing in this game that you can go exploring. There's a cave around here. Let's get out of the water. Let's get out of the water. Also, be careful. You cannot swim, and if your mech ends up in the water by accident, there is a chance that you will get put back to the last place you were. There is a cave here somewhere. I just gotta remember where the hell it is. I think it's over here by this big monstrosity that we can't go over to yet because as of right now, it is blocked. There's no way you can get past it. There's no way you can use photo mode to see what's beyond it. It is like the developer's like, you can't go in there yet. But yes. So, oh yes, Arctic. Oh, we'll get to this here shortly after the caves. So, throughout the game, there are caves that you can go into. And sadly, you cannot bring your mech inside. Only you can go in. And so yes, let's go in the caves. So, in the caves, usually there are smaller versions of the materials. So like out and about, you'll find like bigger there's like the big versions of minerals, but in caves there are smaller versions which you can use, as I'm going to call it, a gravity pick. You know, you beat the crap out of the thing. And since you can't pick up items by hand, there is a nifty way you can use the gravity part. And you can only, so far you can only pick up a handful of items in the game. So, you know, yeah, and then what you can do is just shoot it and it goes right up the next butt. Yeah, there are multiple caves all around the area, not just here in the Pines, but there are also in like lowland plains. You can find caves everywhere, and each cave will have new things, from the flowers to minerals to even the wildlife you can find, which I think is pretty cute. While we're in the vicinity, you may also notice this in the game. They are runes. And the thing about runes is, well, I don't know really much about now, but when you're around runes, you will also discover artifacts. So, like, you know, it'll be a purple glowing rock called a strange rock. You beat it with your thing, and then you can analyze the artifact. And as of right now, not much is said. I mean, each area will see, ancient runes, and there'll be like a certain number of artifacts to find. And Piper will say things, "Oh, I can't wait to discover this. I can't wait to scan that. I can't wait to analyze this thing you found that the developers haven't said much about yet." Not a shot at you guys. I'm sorry. Ooh. Red crystal. But yeah. You can find all these around the area. When you come into an area that will have, you know, the magnifying glass, and I'll say, you know, 0 out of whatever, or 2 out of whatever. But yeah, though ancient ruins have artifacts, which I don't know, again, really what they'll do. And you can also find, as you saw, you can also find, oh, yeah, you can find these things all over the place, like up here, for example, you know? There's a lot of artifacts and a lot of ruins in each area of the map, except for Tornado Rock Isle. As far as I know, there is none, but like, you can easily tell when you're in an area that has a bunch of ruins. Which, again, I'm hoping the developers will eventually say, hey, these are what this is for. So I imagine, for those who may be starting this game out, you will notice that when you go to your map, you'll see areas like Pine Heights, Yellow Forest, Mountainside Coast, Stepstone Peak, Lowland Plains, and Edge Cliffs purpled out like this area here with 3 question marks. Those are areas that are yet you have to discover, and there are also areas that you will basically have to cure. And you'll probably wonder why are there all these purple streams and this gunk and everything, and why are there no animals like in the meadows? Well, again, you have to basically unlock those areas by clearing out all the noxious weeds and the noxious bubbles. And certain areas like the Pine Heights, and I want to say Yellow Forest, I could be wrong, require the basic irrigation hose and the vacuum harvester. So you know, if you see, for example, if you see the puddles, you just spray it down, and if you see the weeds, suck it up. Some areas will have only one of the things. Some areas will have both. And in some areas, like Lowland Plains, you will need to upgrade your vacuum harvester and your irrigation hose, because those are a lot more difficult to suck up. It will literally say vacuum harvester upgrade needed, irrigation hose needed. So areas you have unlocked, I highly recommend getting the resources needed, and it will say that, hey, this is what this is for. And usually when you have it unlocked, then you can go and get those areas. And if you walk through the gunk, it will cause you to walk slow and your mech slow. So I highly recommend, if you have the upgrade, get them out of the way. And I will also recommend either upgrading your irrigation hose if you can. If not, make sure you are near water sources, because there's always water sources in those areas. Even though they are, a biohazard area, there's still water nearby. You just can't get any of the rocks, feed any of the animals, get any of the vegetables until that area is cured. And when that area is cured, you wait till the next day, and then, you'll get the little screen that says, oh, this area is cured, and here's all the stuff you can get, here's all the animals you can feed, here's all the vegetables you can get, and so forth and so on. Which, yeah, it will take some time to cure certain areas, but once you get the upgrades needed, it'll be you'll be able to breeze right through it. So I think it's safe to say we covered some of pretty much the basics. Oh, I need to. Oh yeah, as mentioned, here is merchant parting. Well, we'll have to get back to the merchant parting. So while we wait for the merchant to come back tomorrow, I guess we'll talk about some of the other miscellaneous stuff. So let's talk about the mech upgrade. So you'll need to build yourself a upgrade depot, which is one of the earliest things you can build in the game. I will show those who don't know what is required. I think yes. Nope, this is Upgrade Depot. Basically, you will need 24 stone, aluminum rods, and aluminum frames, which you can use the aluminum rods to make the aluminum frames in the assembler. And once you have that, you can go set it up wherever you want. I decided to, originally I had it over there, but I decided to put it here. And yes, here are all the mech upgrades. As you can see, I still need to unlock like 4 more, which, you know, I'll probably wait till the next. But if you look below, if you look next to the water tank capacity, and next to the water tank capacity 3, and next to the lock on targets 3, there are upgrades that are not available yet. So I imagine when the next update, the mega update as it's called, I'll show a picture right here of all the updates that are going to happen so far, there'll be more things to unlock. So I imagine there'll be more minerals you need to gather, more stuff you need to make in order to get these new upgrades. And my other favorite thing, and as you can see, I have it. Oh, I guess I don't have. Oh, I guess I do. Wait, what? Do I have that ravage? Well, I do not. But I guess since I'm near some storages, I can easily, like, you know, make an upgrade to. But it has to be, you know, it has to have the thing when you hold down the A button to make the thing. I know it kind of doesn't really help as much, but yeah. And if I want to get like the ones that are locked, I have to, you know, make like the thruster booster 1. If I want thruster booster 2, I have to make this one. And then, you know, same with this one, and then, you know, same with the vacuum harvester with the spike damage 3. My other favorite thing about the, oh god, what's this thing called again? The depot, the upgrade depot, you can also customize your mech. Now, when it comes to customizing your mechs, you'll only have like the basic farm mech, leg, farm mech arm, farm mech this, farm mech engine, farm mech windshield. But when you do get the chance to get more upgrades, you can change. You can change the look. Now the looks are just more of a cosmetic thing. So, like, for example, let's do the woodwork shield. So it's in the world, and what we'll do is we'll need to take, you know, take that, and then what we do is we grab the window, for example, and then just shoot it onto the thing. And you can do that, like, you know, with the leg, put it back. You can do it with all. Basically, you can do it with the chassis thing, the engine, the legs, the arms, and the window. And another thing you can do, if you don't like the basic color, you can paint. As you can see, I don't have any paint right now, but picture this with paint, and picture this, you know, picture me painting everything. And also, while we're on the topic of tools as well, might as well, yeah, talk about tools. I'm hoping that we get more, because it looks like there's a chance to get more things. I'm not sure yet. So, yeah. That's that on the mech upgrades. Imagine we'll also get more customization parts for the mech, which I honestly would love to see. So, another one of my favorite miscellaneous things is actually a main mission during the game. Once you have this area unlocked, you will be tasked to make a radio tower. And what the radio tower does is basically side missions on how you can earn money, which I think honestly is the coolest thing ever in this game. And eventually you'll be tasked by Ulf to give him 150 wheat. Now when it comes to that mission, you can't discover wheat anywhere. You will actually have to buy it. And once you get that from once you complete that quest from Ulf, you will get the blueprint to unlock the radio tower request board. So basically this antenna reaches the radio tower all the way over there, and you can do quests. Like, for example, in a stew right now, it's I think actually, I can turn that in.
You'll really do it.
Oh,
You
yeah,
actually
sweet.
did it.
But yeah, so you occasionally will get requests from either Lola or Ulf, and depending on the type of request, you can earn more money. So, like, for example, the highest one I can get right now is Ravage. You have to get the Ravage, grow the Ravage, and give it to Lola. And you can easily either collect Ravage from out in the wilds, or if you already discovered it, which is the best thing, once you discovered sprouts and seeds from the plants, you can easily buy them from Lola, which, if you don't want to go out and waste all that time, you can just easily take the quick way out, quick way. Same with the tree sprouts. If you don't want to, do some deforestation, then yeah. So yeah. Not a great explanation, I know. I apologize. And now that Lola is here, another thing you can do from her is one of the early things you can do in the game, because you get a lot of objections saying build this right away, build this right away. Oh yeah, and for the request board, this is what you need. You'll need 2 aluminum electronics, which you can use to make aluminum, but you need another thing for that, plus aluminum in the assembler. The merchant landing, you'll need 10 aluminum rod, red crystal, which you can get from the pine forest, and stone, which again is one of the easiest things, and the best thing about the crystals, they do respawn the next day, which is my personal favorite. But yes, so with Lola, you can get resources for her from... Oh! You do get stone! Oh no, that's selling. I was like, wait, you can get stone? So with Lola, you can get resources such as seeds and sprouts. And now once you get... So every time you discover seeds and sprouts after sucking it up from the ground or picking it from the ground, it'll be unlocked in the shop. And you can easily get that from Lola. And you can also get mech parts from her. And sometimes they can be expensive, so either sell stuff, or once you get the message board, you can do quests, get more money, and you can also buy blueprints for decorations to help raise your coziness level and whatnot. You can also sell stuff too, and depending on the item and its rarity, it will go for a lot more. So like right now, I can sell a thing of wax for $53, or I can sell this, or let's see here, I can, if I really wanted to, where is it? Like stuff like geoshards, and so like geoshards, clams, resin, actually amber, and other stuff you can find laying about around, like clams, eggs, go for a lot more. So like I can sell like a geoshard, and I can get 400, almost 450 for it. And sometimes these will also, like the clams, it will be a message request from either Ulf or Lola saying, find 5 clams and you'll get this much money back. So yeah.
See you.
I think that's it. Oh yes, I did forget to mention that let's see if we can get to it real quick. Oh yeah, and this is where you'll like discover your mech when you first start in the game. I don't want to spoil too much, but I will say there is a benefit. There's another benefit to the game curing all the places. You'll probably notice that once you cure a place, you will see a door. If you can either discover it 2 ways. You can discover it by accident like I did, or once you clear all the places, it will lead you to that door. I'm not going to say what's inside the door. You will have to discover that yourself. I think that is it, honestly, on that. Oh, yeah. I forgot. You can also... So I forgot to mention, you can build roads in this game. So you have a bipedal mode. Oh yeah, I'm reading that. So you have Pathmaker, which I recommend. I would be in third person for this. So if I wanted to, I could easily... I can build, like, you know, for example, I can build a dirt road, and if I don't want that road, I can just hit remove and I can cover the area back up with grass. You can do the same thing for yeah, it's a bit wonky to control if you're playing on Xbox. I don't know how it is on PC, but yes, you can make dirt roads, make the cobblestone road. I'm hoping they have more roads in. Another thing is field plow mode. You can build fields. So, you know, for example, you switch to that mode, and this is also a mech upgrade. So you switch to that mode, and you can make, you know, you can make a field to grow plants. And if you don't want that, and you screw up like I did multiple times, you can just go over it. And it's the back mode, and the one thing I like about this, especially when it comes to like this, it shows a line, and it's like the back piece is how you go. Hi Lola. So yeah, it's the last thing I wanted to add in. And then when you're done, you can go back into bipedal mode or bipedal mode. Pedal mode, not the other thing. Don't get your mind out of it. Get your, you know, yeah. So, so I hope this helps. I'm sorry if it went by a little quick. I almost had an hour doing this. Overall thoughts, the game is great. I would give it about a 9 out of 8.5, 9 out of 10. There's still a lot that definitely needs to be done. I know they're working on more bugs. I can't wait to see what else comes in this game. I can't wait to see the updates. I can't wait for the story to continue. I can't wait to see what's behind the wall. So, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this review guide. Again, sorry it went by a little hectic, crazy. But, yeah. Again, game's on Steam for like 20-30 bucks. Free on Game Pass. It is still early access, so, you know, you gotta, you know, bear with them. I'm hoping that eventually, you know, once early access is over, there will be more. Also, if you like, you can also play with up to three friends in multiplayer mode. So you can do one of two things. You can create a new world and invite them and start all from the beginning, if you've beaten the game and you're like in single player. Or you can use your world that you're already in and invite your friends, which I think is a really cool thing. I'm can't wait to see more. One thing I forgot to mention: be careful when you are in your mech, especially when you're jumping onto things. If you're not, your mech will fall over and it'll go into third-person mode. But it's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in this game. So yeah. As always, I am Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.